Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make this palazzo trouser with a wide leg. If this is what you like to learn, please come on and let's dive into the tutorial. Please, I beg you, I want you to like and subscribe on my page. Please like my video so that I can make more quality videos like this. Please encourage me to make more videos by liking my videos and subscribing. Thank you and God bless you as you do so. Now let us dive into the tutorial. I'm sure you're going to like it. It's looking so beautiful and you can see the wideness is very wide. So come on and let's dive in. Thank you for watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold your fabric. So you're going to fold it with your hip divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches, which is what I'm using. You can add more, you can use 3, you can use 4 inches. It depends on how wide you want your pant to be. Plus 0.5 plus 3 inches for the extension. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to get my length. So I've removed 2 inches for the band, then I divided what I get, so I've marked my value there. So after getting, I'm going to come up by 2 inches for the hip length, and that is what I'm going to add here. So I'm going to connect the line just like so, as you can see. So after getting that, what I'm going to do now is to get what I'm going to use here, which is my hip divided by 4 plus ½ inch sewing allowance plus the 2.5 inches that I'm using. So I told you can add 3 or 4, it depends on how wide you want it to be. So I'm using 2.5 as the freeness for the freeness of my own trouser, and I'm going to mark it just like so. I'm going to connect the line like this. So for the crotch extension, you're going to divide your hip by 16. Divide your hip by 16, and whatever you get to mark it. The mine is 2 3/4. I'm going to mark what I have here. I'm going to mark 1 inch out here as a guard. I'm going to connect the 3 lines together just as you can see like so. So I'm going to connect it this way now. So after connecting it like this, the next thing I'm going to do now is just connect it like so. The next thing I'm going to do is to get the length of my hem, the hem. So the trouser length I'm working with is 43 inches. I'm going to mark the 43 inches, and I'm going to mark 2 inches for the folding of the hemline, 2 inches. So I'm going to mark it here as well to get a straight line. So this is it after adding 2 inches to the hemline. So I'm just going to get whatever I have here, whatever value you have here, you're going to place the same thing at the down part, that is at the hemline as well. You're going to place it the same thing at the hemline as well and mark it just right here. So after marking it now, I'm going to connect it. I'm going to connect it from here. I'm going to connect it from here to here. Connect with a straight ruler like so. Just as you can see me doing now, I'm going to connect it like this. So after connecting, I'm going to add 1/2 inch for the sewing allowance on this part. For this part, I'm going to add 1/2 inch of the sewing allowance. Remember, we have added 1/2 inch for the other parts while trying to get the measurement there. So I'm also going to add 1/2 inch round on the crotch area as well. As you can see, I'm adding 1/2 inch just like so. So you're going to add it like this in order to have your exact measurement that you have measured on this part. And that is all for our front part. So I'm going to be using this 1/2 inch that I have up here to join it to the band. Remember, we have removed 2 inches from the length of the trouser because we are going to have a 2 inches band. So this is the back of the trouser, and I've just fold your trouser just fold the back of your trouser with extra 5 inches. So here we are going to add whatever you have there for your front crotch. Add 1 inch, sorry, or you can add half. I actually added half here. I added that's 2 3/4 plus half, then that I had 3 1/4 there. So just add half to whatever you added at the front crotch part. So here I'm adding 2 inches right here now. 2 inches here from the front to the top here to this place that I marked, just 2 inches down part, and I've marked it just like so. And I'm going to connect the back crotch measurement just as you can see like this. Just connect it like so. So the 1 inch you have added is just for the freeness, so that you not have any problem at the crotch area. So now I'm going to come down here now to mark 2 inches. 2 inches here. Then I'm going to come to the knee area, somewhere around the knee area there, and I'm going to mark another 2 inches there. So we have only 3 1/4 inch at the crotch area of the back. I hope you understand. Please, if you do not understand, you can ask me anything in the comment section. I'll respond. So just curve it like this. Blend the area very well. So I blended it very well like this. So you are going to experience a freeness at the crotch area. It's not going to look so awkward around there. So I'm going to come here now. I'm going to connect my allowance like so. Then I'll come up by 1 inch because we are working with a free pant. So if we are working with a normal pant, we'd have gone up by 1 or 1 1/2 or 2 inches. So 1 inch is okay for a baggy pant with elastic. So I'm going to connect it from that point, just slant it like so to the end of the side, just like that, and I'm going to cut it out. And we are done cutting the back as well. So the next thing we are going to do now is I'm going to cut the pocket. So here I have the pockets. I have a fabric that I cut into 4. It's actually into 4. So the width is about 8 inches, while the length is about 10 inches. So I have 4 pieces of this right here, 1 for each side of the trousers. So I'm going to place one. This is the front part of my trouser, one side of the front part. I'm going to place this here. I'm going to mark 1 inch. I'm going to mark 1 inch down from the upper parts of the side of the trouser like this. Then I'm going to place the pockets good face to good face, placing it on each other. I'm going to place it just as you can see like this. From where the mark is, I'm going to start placing my pocket. I hope you can see. Then I'm going to mark 7 inches from that part, from that place. I'm going to mark 7 inches just like so. I hope you can see 7 inches here. Then I'm going to also mark ½ inch at the upper part as well. Then I'm going to make a notch in that area. So from the upper part of the pocket, I came down by ½ inch here, then 7 inches here. So I'm going to notch it just as you can see like this. I hope you understand. So after doing that, I'm going to do the same thing to the 3 other sides. So I'm going to do the 3 to the other side. So now I want to make a little curve around this area so that I will not have a bulky around that area on my trousers, just to make it relax on this part. So I'm cutting the 4 sides like this now. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to place it. So I'm going to do the same thing. So what I've done before, I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to pin it down, just as you can see. I'm going to pin it down this way, and I'm going to mark ½ inch from the first notch to the second notch here, ½ inch all the way down, and stitch on the ½ inch. Repeat the same thing on the other 3 sides as you have done here. So this is what I have on the edges, and I'm going to top stitch on it just this way. Fold the edges to the side of the pockets and stitch it down, and repeat the same thing on the other 3 sides like so. So I'm done with it now. I have the front part here, one front part here, and I'm going to place one back part on it just like this, one back part on it just like this. Ensure that they are aligning properly. Align them properly like this, and then I'm just going to come here with ½ inch up here. I'm going to sew it with our sewing allowance of 1/2 inch here, mark it round here, then come down from the pocket with 1/2 inch. It's going to be on the notch area that we have there. Sew on it, on the notch area, sew on it with 1/2 inch, and I'm going to use 1/2 inch to sew all around the pocket, as you can see. Just watch what I'm doing and do as I have done. Mark 1/2 inch all the way here, and when you get to the second notch, which is on the 7 inches, come up from the second notch by 1/2 inch. Then cross it like this, 1/2 inch, then bring it down to the side of the trouser with 1/2 inch, which is our sewing allowance, and you're going to mark the 1/2 inch all the way down to the hemline. If the allowance you have on this side is 1 inch, make sure that you sew on your 1 inch. So I'm going to mark it all the way down like this, and we are going to have our allowance. So when I'm done, this is what I have. You're going to repeat the same thing the other two sides, the other one, and when I'm done, this is what I have. So after doing this, what I'm going to do now is to fold this part and make sure that the crotches are facing each other. Place the two crotches on each other like this and sew all the way down with 1/2 inch, which is our sewing allowance, down all the way to the hemline. And you're going to repeat the same thing to the second side as well. So by the time I'm done, this is it. So match the crotch area together like this and sew it from the crotch area to the midpoints of the back and also to the midpoints of the front. I hope you understand. So this is what I'm done. So I'm going to measure what I have on the band here from the middle of the front to the middle of the back. I'm going to measure what I have, then I'm going to cut my band of 2.5 inches width, 2.5 inches. Then the length is going to be whatever value I have on the waistline of on the band. So I hope you understand. So I'm going to measure it again. So I'm going to divide it now. Just the front part, I have about 14 inches here, and on the back part, I'm going to measure that alone. I'm going to have about, I think I have about 16 inches here. So I have 16 inches here, so I'm going to cut it separately. So now I have, this is the front part that I've cut out. So it's on fold, as you can see, and this is the midpoint of the pocket, and I'm going of the band, sorry, and I'm going to mark 1.25 inch here. I'm going to divide this band into 3. I'm going to divide it into 3, just as you can see now. So I'm going to cut it out. So I've divided it into 3 now, and here I have the mid part, and I have this on one side and I have that on the other side. So I'm going to make sure that I'm placing this now on this side like this. Please watch what I'm doing carefully and do as I have done. March it on like this and pin it down. I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. Yeah, so the good face and the good face together, the right face together, I'm pinning down like this as well. Then I'm going to get the midpoint of the band. You know, if you iron the cloth, you will see that this is the midpoint of the band. Then I'm going to come to this side here. I'm going to mark down 1/2 inch, then mark down 1/2 inch again, just as you can see. Mark down 1/2 inch again for the casing of our rope. So then I'm going to stitch down. So you're going to stitch here with 1/2 inch. You're going to jump this part, not stitching it, then you stitch down. I hope you understand. You're going to repeat the same thing to this other side as well, and we have created this casing for our rope, and this is what you're going to have after you have done with that. I'm going to pick this inside like this, and I'm going to fold it in just like this. I'm going to hide the rough edges, fold it in like this, then I'm going to fold in this side as well, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side as well. I hope you understand. Repeat the same thing for this part as well, and I'm going to have something like that. So now I'm going to pick the two bands together and join them on the sides. Please ensure that whatever allowance, whatever value you have on your waist is what you have on this band, so that it can match perfectly. Please kindly ensure that you have done it perfectly. So you're going to stitch it on the two sides, and here is what I have after I am done. So this is what I have now. So you're going to just pick up the trouser, get the front part, the mid part of the front here. So ensure that the side with the loop is the one you are going to be placing directly on the midpoint of the front. I hope you understand. So you can just stitch like this all around if you want, but if you want to stitch like a proper band of a trouser, just flip it to the other side like this, then open it up, open your band up, and make sure that the loop part is the one facing the inner part of the trouser now, and you're going to stitch it down with 1/2 inch all the way around the waistline, just like so. Place it around just like so, and after all around like so. So after doing that, now I'm done with that. So I'm just going to pick up the other part of the band and flip it up like this, then turn it in like a proper band. I hope you understand. Turn it in like this, like a proper band, stitch it down like so. Then you're going to do that. You can see our loop here is still is sitting down there perfectly. So you're just going to stitch it down like this. Go ahead and do that all around the trouser. So I've left this space for the elastic passing. So I'm going to mark 1/2 inch at the front. Just use the guard, use the loop hole for the rope as a guard. Up after the loop, mark this 1/2 inch, then down after the loop, mark another 1/2 inch, and ensure that you have at least 3/4 inch at the middle area for a proper passing of the rope, so you will not have to struggle passing the rope. Ensure that you have enough space at that point, please. So I'm done with that, and I'm passing my elastic now. I'm going to pass the elastic first before passing the rope. So I'm here passing the elastic, and take your time and fix this perfectly. Ensure that you have placed it perfectly, and after I am done, this is what I have. So I'm just going to stretch it like this and sew on the two lines that we have there. Please make sure that you do not sew on the loop that you have created for the rope, please. So just stretch like that and sew, and this is what I have. So I'm going to pick up my rope now. The rope I have here is about 48 inches long, and I'm going to pass it in like this. So passing my rope is really convenient for me. I do not have to struggle passing the rope because of the allowance that I have on this side. So after that, you're going to pick up the hemline, fold in about 1/2 inch, and we're going to have about 1.5 inch on the allowance there on the hemline. So you're going to repeat the same thing all around, and repeat the same thing on the second side of the leg, just as you can see, and we are done with the trouser. So this is what I have after we are done. So if you have learned something in this video, please kindly like my video and subscribe.